the idea to extend the reach of the Dinosaur Protection Group to a website really came in collaboration with you guys. We did work together on the first film, and I think we did great work. This movie offered a very different set of ethical questions that could be answered in some long reads and some deep dives. And we took it on ourselves to give fans who are interested in going a little bit deeper the opportunity to learn more about this world that we're creating.
Yeah, it wasn't long after the release of Jurassic World that Universal Pictures expressed that they would like us to return for the viral marketing campaign for Fallen Kingdom. At the time it wasn't called Fallen Kingdom. I think most people just knew it as Jurassic World 2 or Jurassic Park 5. But in March of 2017 they contacted myself and Tim and said that they would like us to come visit the sets at Pinewood in Shepperton.
And we actually had a chance to visit the shooting of the Dinosaur Protection Group San Francisco office set with where Claire Dearing is introduced into the film Fallen Kingdom together with Zia and Franklin. And that was instrumental in us being able to understand exactly what we had to do. I think from the moment that we saw the sets, we knew exactly what resources we needed, what posters we had to build, what articles we had to write, and basically we knew immediately what themes we had to incorporate into the Dinosaur Protection Group website.
Obviously, to step into the world of Jurassic and see it all being filmed live in front of you and see the characters playing off one another and meet the dinosaurs was all very exciting. And we also got to see how, even down to details like how Claire organized her desk, so we could kind of get an idea of where this website was coming from, what sort of people were running it. When we came to write things like the blogs and the reports, it was very helpful for our visit to the set to see characters like Zia Rodriguez and Franklin Webb play off one another, because as I just said, as we came to writing the blogs, we knew how these characters would talk to one another and how they'd play off each other, and that meant we could make this website as sort of realistic to the characters as possible.
Dinosaurs, now that they are de-extinct, deserve to live like any other living, breathing creature.
In Fallen Kingdom, there's no doubt about it, we go somewhere we have never been before. And look, everyone who I've spoken to has appreciated every single film that has come before Fallen Kingdom and admitted that we need to move away from the island chain. And this film does it magnificently. It's got high intensity action. It covers the debate about whether dinosaurs should exist or not. There's almost like the karma element to it, like we've brought an extinct species back to life, and now Mother Nature wants to destroy them again. And do we save them? Do we prevent a re-extinction of a species? And we've never seen that in the film before, and it was probably one of the only arguments left in the Jurassic franchise. So absolutely, this film takes Jurassic World to a place it's never been, but it needed to go.
Yeah, last time it was myself and Tim doing the content for the Masrani Global website and creating that, with Manuel doing the intro video. But with the work that was before us this time, we knew we needed more hands on deck. So we hired our close friends Ross and Sam to help write some of the reports and consult ideas with.
Working on the viral marketing team for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was something that I felt incredibly privileged to be a part of, especially for someone who has lived and breathed Jurassic Park for the last 25 years. Creating the backstory for the Dinosaur Protection Group and Extinction Now that would lead up to the events of the movie was a real challenge for us, but we thrived on that challenge. Knowing that we was contributing to the Jurassic World universe and the Jurassic Park canon on an official capacity was something that really made us put our hearts and soul into everything that we did.
Well, I'm honoured to be, doing my part in that. It's really, even now, just thinking about, after the film's been out, after, the premiere, after, all this work is done, I still think back and I'm like, was that actually me? Did that actually happen? But you know, thinking about that crazy ride that we were all on together, coming up with new stuff and things, just trying to figure out things that I would know would excite people. I think, you know, when I was approaching an article, the kind of mindset was, what would excite me? What, as a fan, would I like to hear, and how would I like to hear it delivered? And then I would also try and sort of strip back my personal preferences and just think, you know, what is exciting, what is interesting, what is relevant.
And we had our eye on Jaroslav Kosmina for some time before we approached him. His artwork is so unique and so recognisable, and we thought, as a big Jurassic fan himself, his style would perfectly suit the top of each report page.
With the DPG, the guys wrote excellent articles and documents that were very legitimate, and yeah, I had a great time illustrating like the T-Rex paddock, kind of, you know, finally answering that question of, you know, how the hell did the T-Rex get out from behind the fence if there was a cliff right where he just was. But there's a incline hill there that was actually described in one of the Phil Tippett released storyboards. Not a lot of people know about, so I kind of illustrated that hill that comes from the bottom of the ravine where the car drops up to where the T-Rex would emerge.
Hi, I'm Manuel Bejarano. I work on the project as 3D artist. In 2015, I met Jack and Tim after doing the corporate video of Mass Running Global website, and for me it was like a dream come true working again together on the DPG website. Some of the animations I did included the DPG logo, the Mount Sibo simulation, the readings, other little animations, and my personal favorite, the San Diego incident.
So halfway through the Dinosaur Protection Group campaign, we were speaking with Colin, and Colin was very passionate about the idea of us also creating the opposing argument to the Dinosaur Protection Group, which was it became the Extinction Now Campaign. And the Extinction Now Campaign is basically the complete opposite of the Dinosaur Protection Group, who are advocating for the saving of the dinosaurs. The Extinction Now Campaign is basically like, let's sit back and do nothing because these dinosaurs should never have been created in the first place.
And Crichton wasn't, certainly his politics came through in his writing. And it's not a simple answer where he stood politically. And I think that's what makes this ethical debate the most interesting, is that, you know, you can have a question like, should we let these animals die or should we save them? And, you know, Crichton's not going to have a simple answer for that. And I liked how much you guys embraced it, especially when it came to Extinction Now, and actually having a really valid set of arguments for the other side, and respecting those arguments as opposed to having it be some kind of joke. I thought that was really good.
We thought this was a really, really cool idea to use the Extinction Now Twitter account to post pictures and videos that basically the Dinosaur Protection Group would not want you to see. So we had we utilized archival footage of the Pteranodon attack on Main Street at Jurassic World with people running around in hysterics, and then Manuel came to us with this video of the T-Rex rampaging through San Diego from someone's video camera.
The San Diego video was an idea that I had a long time ago, and I had a lot of fun making it real. The process begins doing a lot of research, starting with the original sequence, the street where it was shot, or the vehicles that appears in the video. With all this information, I created a really simple model of the street and played a bit with the camera animation. Once I knew what will appear in the sequence, I modeled the bus and the T-Rex, and then I animated it. When it was ready, I put everything together and I started the rendering process in different layers. Finally, all these layers are composited together to create the final animation.
he just did such a fantastic job with that. And it's something that I never thought that we would be creating, but it's something I definitely wanted to see and question about. I mean, surely someone was there with a camera that night, and now we know that they were.
It was absolutely fantastic. He had full creative control over what he wanted to show, and it was basically like a found footage premise of a completely different angle and take from that day. And yeah, I think a lot of people dug it.
We probably were a little bit more stringent in the first movie in what we were asking you guys to do, but you just took it and ran with it, and had so much material and that you generated, and so much that you wanted to talk about and clarify. All of that was only making our world richer and deeper. With this film, it was a little bit more, about clarifying, the ethical debate that existed, the place that we enter the world, and why it's a question that is relevant, and because it makes the movie relevant to our time. And I think trusting. I hesitate to call. I know you guys are fans. I feel like that's a little bit reductive to call you fans because you've been working with us for like 3 years now. So you're part of the team at Universal and at Amblin, and I think that embracing your deep knowledge of this universe and this world. I guess it's still relegated to one planet, and that was not any kind of spoiler. We're not going Jurassic Universe with the next film. But trusting your knowledge in all of this, which in most cases is deeper than mine, I think is just to our advantage.
So one of the more interesting and crucial parts of this website was the report section. We all agreed that in order for the DPG to make a strong case for these man-eating animals to have rights, we needed to pull the rug out from underneath the corporations that had been dealing with these dinosaurs from the very beginning, namely InGen and Masrani Global. And in writing this section, we had a lot of creative freedom, which came to a surprise to us. So we used it as an opportunity to fill in some of the holes in the backstory of Jurassic that the fans have been asking for many, many years. And we didn't want to close every door. We wanted to leave a lot of mystery. So while we answered some things in hopefully, very satisfying ways, we showed a lot of new doors that fans hopefully will be surprised by when they read the content on the website.
So there was the paleo vet article. I love doing that because we managed to sneak in a lot of Jurassic Park Operation Genesis little hints in there, which was really, really fun. Kind of going into detail about the management of the park's animals as well, because obviously you'd seen the kind of embryonics labs, you'd seen the kind of, I guess, the creation lab sort of aspect of things, but it was more the day-to-day maintenance and like health checkups and stuff that I found really interesting to think, what sort of looking at a real-world zoo, what sort of regimes and what sort of things do they have going on to look after the animals there. Yeah, so that was absolutely amazing to kind of go back and think of those things and look at inspiration that had come from previous games, the books, just all sorts of areas of the kind of franchise that we kind of picked information from and tried to come up with something cohesive, something exciting and something new for people to enjoy.
Seeing how, fans were interacting with things on the website and how we were putting ideas and stories out there that people were looking for answers for the last 15-20 years from previous films, and seeing how how appreciative the fan base and the general audience was just it's a feeling that you can't describe.
Well, everything they've done here has made Jurassic Park 3 a good movie.
Oh my god, there's actually a website. There's actually a website. Oh my god. Home. I have to click on the reports section. They have so much information.
To give an example of one such leftover question from the previous films was InGen's list, which was mentioned in Jurassic Park 3. The character Billy Brennan basically says he doesn't remember Spinosaurus being on InGen's list.
Spinosaurus aegypticus.
I remember that on InGen's list.
It's because it wasn't on their list, and that makes you wonder what else they were up to.
And for those of you out there that remember, the Spinosaurus is the main antagonist of that movie, and so we felt like through the report section we could actually create the InGen list and use its creation as part of as a sort of very important tipping point for why the dinosaurs lost any rights that they had beforehand. Because these creatures were then made illegally. So I actually made a prop InGen list so we could actually, scan it into the computer and make edits and put up on the website eventually. And I wanted to make it as authentic to what we've seen in previous movies. So I based the design of this on the species profiles that Roland Tembo is holding in The Lost World. I even put a little Easter egg on the front of this that says that those dinosaur profiles that Roland Tembo is holding in that film came from this set of documents. So whilst his ones are lost on Site B, these documents would eventually get leaked up onto the Dinosaur Protection Group. I never thought I would be the one creating this list, and I knew for those hardcore Jurassic fans out there, this was something of great importance that they've wanted to see for a very long time. So I didn't want to disappoint, and I didn't want it to just be just a list. So we created a lot of sort of lore expansion stuff with this. We have what happened to the dinosaurs on Isla Nublar after the fall of Jurassic Park, and we also have like what dinosaurs were on Isla Sorna.
With Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, I think it follows Jurassic Park. The formula of being very relevant with its themes and its issues of corporate greed and stuff like that, which is, this stuff happens in real life. So, how do you moderate that, and if you don't, what are the consequences? But as far as DPG, as I've stated, Chaos Theorem, the team that was very kindly offered a position as an illustrator, I had a great time. It's like a dream come true. I had never expected to actually do something for it, and it happened in this way, and I can't imagine a better way. Honestly, it's through fans. Like the fans help you kind of achieve your dreams.
I mean, looking back, it really was an incredible journey. Going back 18 months, the team, we're all from various parts of the world. We were sitting on a Skype call discussing possible ideas to flash forward almost a year and a half, and we're all sitting at the Los Angeles premiere. A lot of us, it was the first time that we met in person, and we clicked. The Chaos team clicked. We're like a family, and being a part of that is incredible. And I'm just excited to see where it goes from here.
Just seeing people really invested in what we were doing and having so much fun with it, and really just kind of getting into the spirit of things. That is probably the one thing that I enjoyed the most about working on this, was just seeing people enjoy what we'd written and what we'd created. That was probably one of the most amazing things I've ever seen, I think.
And one thing that I really personally wanted to get across was that, whether you're a 40-year-old Jurassic Park fan that's seen every film, right through to maybe a 12-year-old kid who's just getting into this franchise for the first time, there is something for everyone on this website. And even for a split moment, if you can go onto that website and forget about, your homework or your job, and if you can just for a moment think that, this is a real non-for-profit organization and the dinosaurs are really there on Isla Nublar, then we've done our job. That's exactly what we were trying to achieve.
What you guys did with the Dinosaur Protection Group and with all of this work that was done online in this film is helping create the arc of these 3 films. For the first movie, you focus so much on the very, the cold corporate environment and, the history of how this massive conglomerate was built and began to monetize these creatures that should not be used for profit. And in the second film, we see everything they've built breaking apart and burning down, and chaos starting to take over, and everything is going from a place of absolute control to ultimate chaos. And that is the arc. And the same way that the arc of the first film went, Claire's character went from a place of absolute control to, pure animal instinct, and letting animals fight each other, and trusting the natural world as opposed to trusting computers, which had failed her. So, and maybe, once we get to the end of the third movie, and I know we're all going to be working together on that as well, I think you guys will be very proud of your work on all 3 of the films, because you'll really see how value added all of this is in giving, not just an ethical argument, but emotional weight and thematic weight to where all of this is going.